from cyber attack. We look at conclusions and we'll take questions. So first, when I ask somebody, what is cyber attack? I know we're going to get different answers as what we think cyber attack is. So many people will give us their own view of what they think cyber attack is. But today, I'll look at it in another, I would like us to look at it in another perspective. I would like us to take a time and see what we even think cyber attack is. I said a cyber attack is done by criminals, basically using one or more computers to attack a single or multiple computers or organization data. Now, take it from me, when there's an attack on your system, it involves two parties. There are two parties involved. The link between the information you are passing and the criminal at the end of your information. There are always, we say one or more computers. But one thing we need to know is it takes more than one computer to just be attacked, because they need your own computer to be vulnerable and their computer to be as smart as it can. So it's a case of a vulnerable system and a smart system. And why are we saying, what do I mean by saying a smart system? I'm trying to say a system where the end person, that's the attack, the criminal, has more information that you think it were not useful to you. The information that you regard less important as the information they have to do whatever they want to do. Now, let's look at something before now. Hold on. Sorry. Can anyone still see my screen?
Yes. We're still on what is cyber attack.
Oh, okay. I can see something. The same Chrome not responding. I try to play it from the back. Okay. So before we go there, while we're waiting, I'm sorry for the delay. One thing I need us to know is every organization has a back end. Every organization has a communication channel. Now, basically, if the communication channel is breached, for example, if you're in charge of become PMO, for example, or you're in charge of maybe become C panel, for example, and then you are not always active or up to date with the necessary information because you think there's no complaint. You don't know, maybe the information that you share, somebody have an access to it. Now it takes 1,000, I'm trying to stay away for this. It takes 1,154 codes, number combination to get a 4-digit PIN activated. Now, when you send somebody your phone number, or when you send the password of an organization to somebody, basically through a coding system, or maybe through a channel, for example, through an email, the email can go through 66,000 steps, which with hacker softwares, in 6 minutes, the software can dictate the password you're sharing. Sorry, I don't know why my system is still holding back and showing not responding. I don't know. Wow. It's saying Chrome not responding.
Okay, in order not to waste time, I can see that Deborah is here. Deborah, are you ready for your presentation? Maybe we should just let Deborah present and
okay. Sorry. Actually, I'll be complete. I didn't know I was presenting today. I didn't see that on the schedule. I'm very, very surprised because I just saw the message this morning that I'm supposed to be presenting. My next KD date that I know of is in August. That's 10th of August. I don't know of any other KD date besides that.
Okay. I guess maybe you were rescheduled or something.
I think you were rescheduled because
Yeah.
I was also rescheduled.
I guess you missed your presentation and then he rescheduled you to present on the 7th. Yeah.
So besides that, I don't know. I know it's in June, so probably shared for today, but I wasn't informed.
Seriously, every other thing is coming up on my system apart from my Chrome. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know right now.
I think it's
Okay,
best.
how about you share your link, the link to the presentation, so someone can
The
just help.
Chrome is not coming up. It's through the Chrome. It's through my Google Drive right now.
Can you,
So
is it
if
possible
I
to use
can,
your phone? Like if you access, if it's connected, because Chrome is actually kind of like synced up as well. If you're using the same mail, so you can just access your drive if possible, then copy the link from there and share it. So someone will just copy the same link here and of course initiate the slide view for you.
Thank you. Let's do that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Who is the host? Can the host just stop the live stream so we can just restart it? Because
So can we see my screen now? Sorry, I'm finally back.
yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you everyone for staying tuned. Okay, I think I'm ready to. Can we continue right now? Okay, so this is where I was. I was at what is cyber attack? And I kept saying it can involve more than one computer. As we said, it involves many computers, and then it involves a channel of communication. I remember talking about that. Then the next thing I want us to look at is notes. Attack can be done anywhere in the world as far as your system is connected to the internet. That is why I talked about the channel that which the connection takes place. Now, someone might just take just your surname alone to hack your system. Probably we don't know. It's no longer password. It has gone beyond password. It has gone beyond what's his name now? Giving out your information or carelessness of your data, because there are softwares right now that match numbers together and then they use many things. For example, I talked about deniers of service. Now, when you notice that, so you cannot actually, like my system, the way it was just rolling and then system not responding. If I were actually sending an information and I get that same response, I wouldn't assume that my RAM or my system is the one that is causing it. I would rather, after the whole process, I would rather go and check my firewalls or check my connection routing or system link to see if somebody intercepted the network. That's what we ignore. At the moment, my system was showing not responding. Chrome was actually not responding, and every other thing was responding. That's an example that something is happening to your back end that we think we could just ignore. I insisted on making sure that my system was working rather than my phone. Last week I was working with my phone and I was on my Chrome and I saw on my Safari from my iPhone, and I discovered that 26 cyber attack attempts were prevented from my phone through Safari. It shows that there were about 26 attempts on my phone to attack my phone or to gain access to my information that Safari has to block. I don't know how, but that was a message I got. Quickly, I went to my Chrome and something showed me that your system has been logged in, your Chrome has been logged in somewhere in an unsecure and usual environment. Please confirm if you are the one. And I quickly said, no, that's a step I think I put. So sometimes there's denials of service and you will think it's just your system that is messing up. After the whole process, if you can come back online before you proceed, the advice is try and check what happened. Was your system really slow? What actually took place that made your Chrome not to come up, or the browser you're using at that period not to come up? If everything is fine and you know the state of your system. I'm not saying there are no times that your system can hang or your RAM might malfunction or other thing, but most times when you're using something, at some point, you're trying to share an information over the internet and you get the message not responding or system attempt. Most time you get the display now lately, system attempt. If you can just get attempt or not responding, please at the end of the day, try to check or clear your cookies or your history. Go to your history, Control H on your system, on any other system, on that same browser, go to history, clear your histories and ensure that you're fully back online. So after that, we talked about, okay, I noticed, you can say something, I have not been able to solve the same problem. I noticed that the same Chrome is still not responding. So I'm trying to share the link on my slide if somebody is going to take it from me. Can someone provide an email? Okay, I can drop it on, is Alex around?
You can just drop it so anyone can pick it from there and share screen for you.
However, I'm with my phone. I'm joining via my phone, sir.
Just put it on the chat.
Please share it. I can do that for you.
Okay. Oh, I also still have an issue. My main line is connected to my phone and not my official line. Okay, let's see how far we can go. I'll be as fast as possible. So we have phishing. I will also explain the types of attack we have. We have what? Denials of service. We have phishing. We have SQL injection. We have password attack. We have malware attacks. We also have what? Man in the middle. This is where we'll be looking at. We'll look at the man in the middle, password attack, and then phishing. So then, what are the types of attacks on systems? We continue. So what? Attackers attempt to engage or flaw or overwhelm the server with the goal of making the server unavailable or temporary downtime on the server. One of the two they use is called what? Botnet. Now, what happened to me just now could actually result to many attempts or low system configuration or poor RAM, or maybe the system is getting out of hand, or the system is due for update or something. Whatever it is, there's something that was responsible for my system not to come up as or to work. So if my system is out of date, I can expect this. And this is the moment the attackers can take advantage of it. If my system is not properly secured from my fireworks like this, you can see now there's like a breach here. There's something red like an antivirus stopping this man from gaining access. But in the other case, if there's no this man here, this man standing here, if he's not available, I don't know why my pen is not working. I would have drawn something. If this man here is not available, this person here with this little eye of what's this called, of a danger, can actually overwhelm the whole of this server. This is a server, but this is a firewall, for example, trying to protect the server from being hacked by this one. Else, this one will send and overwhelm the server with junks. And then because the server is overwhelmed, a lot of activities will not happen. The server will not be available. And at that time, they can copy out whatever they need. That's what we call denials of service. That you see your server, everything looks okay. You just notice that you could just be telling yourself, it's my system that is slow or the network is bad. You wouldn't know that the server has been overwhelmed by junks informations because the person has access to your server. They overwhelm it and then take a lot of things they want to do and then they release it. How does the hacker use these denials of service? First, look at this. Let's be fast. Look at this. He's here. This is the control server. This is your own server. This is his own server. He sent bottlenecks. These bottlenecks are chunks of files that resembles your same file. For example, maybe you will receive an email and say, dear applicant without HTTPS on the top of the mail, and then dear applicant, you are not scheduled for an interview at so please. You notice that the mail that is coming is not the regular mail, but however you opened it, you got maybe like 3 of that same information, the same type of mail, and you open that same mail with that same kind of information. Please know this, most employers who want to interview you will call you by your name. Dear James, dear Usman, we'll call you by your name. We address the mail to you to make it official. But for hackers, they just call dear applicant or dear this person. They just give a name. Please take note of that. That's how they overwhelm your mail. By opening that mail alone, you have access, you have allowed your server or your mail or your system to be overwhelmed with virus. It might not just take place with that single mail. The more the system and the mail stays on your system, the more it multiplies like a malware on your system. So sometimes when you get such a mail and you mistakenly open it, please delete them. That's denials of service. They overwhelm your system and then take advantage of it. Then phishing. We talked about phishing. Hackers use fraudulent messages, just like the email I talked about. Most time is between your organization, is from a known source. This one is even from a known source. In phishing attacks, use fraudulent messages, usually email from very trusted or well-known source to require sensitive information. People don't know. For example, I said it the other time, how can a bank, somebody call you from the bank and say, hello, your bank details are not complete, which they do, and some of us carelessly give out the information. They'll tell you your bank detail, we just noticed that your bank information is not complete. And probably, how did they know? Maybe you were trying to use your email or your ATM, and then it's showing you service network error or service error, or you're trying to use your USSD and it's complaining. And 30 minutes later, somebody now called you and said, sorry, you were not able to access your details because your details in the bank were not complete. Please send us your date of birth and then your destiny so that we can make it up for you. I am telling you, that is phishing at work. They are trying to gain access to your information. You might just, because of what happened to you previously, because the network was bad. Yeah, they know about the process. They had gotten a mail, a link to your information. They've gotten some information about you. So what they did was to what? Denials of service, deny your ATM from working, deny your line from USSD. So when you are not able to access your USSD, when you are not able to use your ATM, then a follow-up message comes in. For you to get access, it is because of this, because of that. So the follow-up message will now ask you, send your details to them. Once you send, my date of birth is this. Oh, that's all. That's what they need. So phishing is actually giving them your information, and it will come from a known source. Take note. I say, for example, your bank, it will come from them. Maybe a company you apply to for a job that are not genuine, it will come from them. Please, we are trying to schedule you for an interview, but however, we didn't get a proper message about your details or contact. Please send us your phone number and this. Please don't send. This is a method they're using to hack you, which is called phishing. Another one is what? SQL injection. I talked about this for basically programmers. Hackers will what? We alter your code. They gain access because you carelessly left it on the cloud or maybe on the internet and something. They gain access to the code you think you have written well, and then they just alter it. And then you are not looking for a guru. Probably it could even be your friend. SQL injection that from known source. Please take note that all these things are from people who you know, those guys that you know, your colleagues in the office who thinks they are better or something. They know you, you know them. For example, you wrote a code and then a friend was aware and had access to your information or your password or your Google Cloud or Google Drive, for example. Then after you wrote your code, the person just would affect the code. just inject some errors into it that, or the database that the company needed to solve immediately. And they keep calling your name, and then you don't even know. You're trying, please let me debug, let me check what the problem is. You're struggling, you're trying to imagine what happened. And then the organization will say, if you cannot do it, let's give it to someone. Okay, let's call you. You even be the one that will suggest, okay, call Mr. A, call Mr. A, call Mr. B, because you think he knows it. He actually injected your information with, altered your data or your code with information that will require his attention for them to call him and then give you. So this is the process. I try to draw a diagram of SQL injection. Okay, this is it. This is a guide there. This is your code, permanently okay. And then this is green and blue. Probably that is a condition where your code was very, very okay. At this stage, everything was fine. Then he just wrote a code down, and then by the side, with those code, he just altered your information and you cannot do anything. And then you are the one telling them or recommending the organization to call on him and to see if he can help you solve it. Password cracked. I say this is the most common known form of personal or corporate attack. It is a try and error form of attack to gain access. Now here, these are the methods that somebody can use to crack your password. This time around, they are not using phishing. This time around, they are not using denials of service. They are using password because you give them your laptop or they want to try something. For example, they use brute force. They use dictionary attack. They use credential stuffing, and they use what I call using keylog. Now let's look at brute force. Brute force is when they try so many numbers. Just like I said, there are about 66,000 code number combination. When your password is 4, there are 66,000 code that can bring out that 4 combination. It is in 66,000 steps. Now there are 94,000 if your password is 8. No, 994,000 code that must be used to get your password, to guess your password, right? So with brute force, it's just a method of try and error, which they have software that they use the software to get the first 50, another 50. It will give them in the region of 50-50. That method to break by force into your system is called brute force. Then we have dictionary attack. I just told you, somebody just needed your surname, your full name. That's all, your full name. Just try to merge the names from the available information or data they have. Merge your surname and your full name and your date of birth, and that's all. Credential stuffing is actually the information, like in the form of phishing, that the person is asking you, and then the information you're giving, they're just trying to stuff through, pick 1 or 2 things from the available information to get more from. Then we have using keylogger. Basically, the attempt through keylogger is they know that the last time this code and this code worked, but they don't know what to do. So basically, they will come again and then first assess those code. After the code, I saw a lot of messages, but let's just see if we can finish in the next 4 minutes, then look at the messages. So they try to assess the code and then pick what they think it is necessary and asking you to give more information. So they are not actually logging in by force. They have half of your information and they call you for more details. So that's keylogger. Then we have malware. Of course, we know malicious attacks, just like the mail I told you, antivirus, through virus and what have you, you can always get a malware attack. We don't need to dwell more on this. We all know if you don't have antivirus on your system, you are prone to virus. And virus alone can attack your system. It's not just hackers alone. Then we talked about the method. We have ransomware, Trojan, spyware, we have adware, we have worms, we have viruses, all this. As a result of collecting flash, downloading songs and what have you, you can have any of this and it can be harmful to your PC. Then we have man in the middle, a position where hacker interrupt an online conversation. This is basically what tapping, we call it information tapping. You don't know that a friend has access to tap your information. That's why whatever you are sending, after a while, please, you can always check if there's any way when you're actually calling someone, or using the social media, please avoid sending sensitive information. I believe sensitive information can be sent via a secure official mail or through a face-to-face conversation. Don't give sensitive email online or social media. Email can be better, but social media is my friend. Facebook, there are so many people in the middle. There are so many men or mans or women or whatever English you want to use in the middle that are trying to tap. They just tap into the information. As you're sending the information, they are also having their own share of the information. So we need to be careful the kind of information we share. What are the motive? I say demanding ransom, like the guy who did SQL injection on your system. He just put something, he just alter your information where he thinks you will not know on time. So that when you're under pressure, you're forced to call him to come and what? Call you. You're forced to call him to come and help you out, and then he charges you. So it's just basically for money. Some of them is to damage your reputation. Your organization is making money, and so they just want to make, okay, another ICT company wants to make money, and so they just call you and do that, creating what? Information theft and manipulating data. That's one of the reasons, creating chaos and disrupting structures. If there are structures on ground and there's something you're about to do, they just want it to happen so that they can say they are better, and you have to call them or need assistance. Achieving military objectives. Most countries, like in the case of Russia and Ukraine that we all know now, if Ukraine or another US, for example, that is backing Ukraine up, knows that, okay, we can tap into the system, the database of Russia and get vital information, we can actually tap in and design what they want to use, and then send it to Ukraine to use to attack them. These are basically one of them. Religious belief, we can also, to prove that, okay, this is not right, this is right, this is not good. Disturbing business continuity. Most times your business is flowing well and your customers or competitors are not happy. So they want to tackle it or disturb the continuity. So that is one of the motives. This is just the motive behind what? Cyber attack. Above all, making money is the goal of most attackers, so that you call them or they pick whatever information, money, or resources you have from them. I know it's almost time. So how do you secure your system? I don't think we should talk more about this. I have already explained them in the chats. Get antivirus, get up-to-date information, secure your sensitive data, ensure that you don't share information that are sensitive to you. I've got a lot of messages. I don't know if it's for me or I have about 21 messages. I don't know how we can read it up. Admin, the hosts, please, what can be done on this? Because it's time already. So secure your password, antivirus, say no to phishing, don't give out the information that are not necessary. We have two-step authentication, regular update, enable fast firewall on your system. This will help you. In conclusion.
Yes, it's time already. So the KD channel.
Yeah, we're already in the conclusion. So I said in conclusion, avoid clicking every link that comes to your way. That's just one of them. Do not open mails that are not from a secure or known source. Avoid sharing confidential data with third party. Organize seminar and educate your staff about the importance of data protection. Basically, this is what I have. I don't know. There's no time to take questions. I saw a lot of chat here. You can just drop any information on the Slack channel through infrastructure, if you can access it, or Peter King's. You can look for Peter King's on the Slack channel and drop any questions you have there, so that we can resolve them. There's so many mails and messages here, but I don't know how we can take questions. It's left for admin. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for listening. Okay, so if there's any questions, I don't know how to do about that, but let the admin decide, because it's time.